Amazing day to all. This is Teacher Dan Rogayan, and welcome to another episode of our Let Review Drill. So, for this episode, we'll be focusing on general education or Gen Ed. So, we will be uploading a series of Gen Ed Let review drills for the coming days. And for these, drill number one will be focusing on science. So, before we proceed, let me share my slide. All right. Okay. So for our first episode or first episode of the Gen Ed series for our preparation for our licensure examination for professional teachers for March 2025, we'll be focusing on science. So as I mentioned, we'll be uploading a series of Gen Ed led review drills to help our future LPTs concur and ace the board exam. Okay? So of course, let's all be guided with our goal to pass and even top the board licensure examination for professional teachers. At kayang-kaya natin yan. Let's all manifest that you will all pass the board exam. Okay? So, I hope you have your pen and paper with you. Samahan ninyo ako sa ating unang episode for our Gen Ed drill number one, and our focus would be on science. So I prepared, I think, 30 items for these episode, at I hope na sasabayin ninyo ako sa pagsagot. The questions are actually have a commonality, no? So the questions that we will be answering is actually arrangement-based questions. So mahilig kasi ang PRC sa mga arrangement-based questions. And some of the questions were actually uh, asked in the recent board examination. So malalaman nyo, siguro some of you are already familiar, no, with these questions. But I prepared 30 items for this just in case, no, that PRC would once again, okay, ask arrangement-based questions sa Gen Ed. So I think everybody's ready, so simulan na natin. All right, for the first question, number one, the history of the Earth has been divided by scientists into eras. Which of the following shows the arrangement of these eras into proper sequence from the oldest to the most recent? A. Precambrian, Paleozoic, Mesozoic, Cenozoic. B. Cenozoic, Mesozoic, Paleozoic, Precambrian. C. Precambrian, Mesozoic, Cenozoic, Paleozoic. Or letter D. Paleozoic, Cenozoic, Precambrian, Mesozoic. Okay? So this was actually asked, no, in the recent board already. So what do you think is the answer? Okay, so we're talking about here the eras, no, in our geologic time scale. So that is letter, what's your answer, future top notchers? That's correct. Precambrian, Paleozoic, Mesozoic, Cenozoic. So our mnemonics there would be Prepamese, no? So Prepamese. So Prepamese is actually our eras here from oldest to most recent. So that's Precambrian, Paleozoic, Mesozoic, Cenozoic. So right now, no, at present, no, we are now at the Cenozoic era. Okay, so this is the present day. Okay, so that's an arrangement-based question. Okay, number two, arrange the following threats to ecological biodiversity in the order of intensity from the most harmful to the least harmful. A. Pollution, climate change, alien species, habitat loss. B. Alien species, habitat loss, pollution, climate change. C. Habitat loss, pollution, climate change, alien species. Or letter D. Climate change, habitat loss, pollution, or alien species. Okay, so we're looking at the order of intensity from the most harmful to the least harmful, okay, in our ecological biodiversity. And it's an actual board question. Okay, maybe some majority of you are already familiar with this question. Pag inulit po ito in the board exam, the answer is, that's correct, climate change, habitat loss, pollution, and an alien species. When we talk about alien species, these are actually the invasive species, yung mga hindi native sa isang area. Pag na-introduce sila in that particular area, dadami sila, and then they might disrupt, no, the natural ecosystem in that particular area. Okay, so that's CHIPS, no, climate change, habitat loss, okay, pollution, and species or invasive species. Just in case magdagdag ang PRC, okay, pwede nating idagdag yung number 5, over exploitation. So these are the biggest threats to biodiversity or to biological diversity. Climate change or the increase in the temperature of the atmosphere has major effects on the environment, such as the seasons, the rising of the sea levels, and glacial retreats. Secondly is habitat loss and degradation. Habitat loss may either be caused by natural events like natural uh, calamities and geological events, or anthropogenic activities or man-made activities like that of deforestation and man-induced climate change. Then, followed by pollution, be it water, air, or land pollution, all forms of pollution appear to be a threat to all life forms on Earth. Then we have the invasive species, and exotic or natural species can be any kind of organism that has been introduced to a foreign habitat. These introduction can cause major threats to the native species. Example of this is janitor fish, golden kohol. Now, these are some of the invasive species introduced in the Philippines. Next is overexploitation. Overexploitation refers to the act of overharvesting species and natural resources at rates faster than they can actually sustain themselves in the wild. So, sobrang dami naman ng kinukuha or inaani natin, no? Without thinking of the future generation. And of course, we have other potential threats like epidemics and infectious diseases of wildlife, such as Ebola virus disease, infectious bursal disease, and flu affecting wildlife and biodiversity. But mainly, no, in the board exam, yan ay climate change, habitat loss, pollution, and invasive species. At pag tinanong din kayo, what is considered as the greatest threat in the 21st century, ang isasagutan natin is number one pa rin, climate change. Kung walang climate change, we will answer global warming. Okay? Third question, arrange in chronological order from start to end. The food chain order should be blank. A, sun, primary consumer, primary producer, decomposer. B, primary producer, sun, primary consumer, decomposer. C, sun, primary producer, primary consumer, decomposer. Or letter D, decomposer, sun, primary producer, and primary consumer. So this is also as in the recent board exam, no? In chronological order from start to finish, nor to end. Of course, we'll start with the ultimate source of energy on Earth. So pag tinanong, anong ultimate source of energy on Earth? That is the sun. Okay, so we start with the sun. So we're left with two options here, A and C. And you know that, okay, the source of food for our heterotrophs or for our consumers are producers. So we start with the producer, primary producer. So PRC inserted the word primary there for confusion yan, for para medyo tricky, no? Primary producer, then we have the consumers, primary consumers. We have several types of consumers, right? We have the herbivore or the primary consumer, we have the secondary consumer, we have the tertiary consumer, we have the quaternary consumer. No? So these could be omnivores na and carnivores. Omnivores, these are animals which can feed on both flesh and plant-based food, while carnivores are flesh eaters, no? While of course herbivores are those which feed on plant-based material or plant-based food. So that's primary consumer, and lastly is decomposer. Okay, but again, in when we teach it to our kids, to our pupils or to our students, we don't represent the composer in the food chain because the composition can happen in between trophic level. But for the sake of the board examination, dahil nilagay man to ng PRC, so we will answer sun, primary producer, primary consumer, and decomposer. Okay, so that's spiced, right? Sun, primary, our producer, no? nilalagyan kasi ng pairs ng primer, but that's producer, then consumer, then decomposer. Just in case lang na nalilito pa rin tayo doon. But of course, this is a very common question in the board exams. You can see there the sun, which is the ultimate source of energy and the only source of light on Earth. Now, this is the only source of the natural light. Then we have the consumer, the producer, the consumers, okay, and the decomposer. But again, you don't really represent the composer in the food chain if you have to teach it to the science students. Okay. So next question, question number 4. Arrange the following layers of Earth's atmosphere from the closest to the surface, closest to the Earth, to the farthest. A. Troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere. B. Stratosphere, troposphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere. C. Troposphere, mesosphere, stratosphere, thermosphere, exosphere. Or letter D. Mesosphere, troposphere, stratosphere, thermosphere, exosphere. Okay? So you know very well that the closest layer on Earth is what? That's correct. The closest layer to the Earth where weather happens or where weather occurs is troposphere. So we're left with two options, A or C. All right. So what is the layer next to troposphere? That's the layer where you can find ozone layer. And that's correct. That is stratosphere. So that's the arrangement, right? Troposphere, stratosphere, middle, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. Okay. So in troposphere, weather happens, weather occurs, water vapor is concentrated. Stratosphere, you can find the ozone layer. Mesosphere, you can find the meteor shower or the shooting stars, right? That's where the shooting stars can be seen. Thermosphere, you can find the northern and southern lights, the auroras, aurora borealis, the northern lights, and aurora australis, the southern lights. And of course, the exosphere, the exosphere. Okay, so that's the arrangement. Now, if you want to remember that easier, transmite, no? Transmite, te, no? Ate, no? So transmite, trust, no? TR there is troposphere, S is stratosphere, okay? ST, stratosphere, ME, mesosphere, the middle, te, thermosphere, and then you have the exosphere. Transmite, okay? So minsan ang ginagawa ko na, trust me, uh, uh, in the exam, no? Trust me in the exam. Kasi trust me the exam naman. So, sino yung itatrust natin, no? Sa exam, of course, nasa sa inyo yung kung sino yung pinaniniwalaan. Okay? So, there you go, no? So, tama naman tayo, no? So, you can see here, no, the weather occurs. Now, you can see here the hot air balloon also, okay? Then the stratosphere, you have the ozone layer, the mesosphere, the shooting star, the thermosphere, the auroras, and the exosphere, the space station. Okay? Trust me then. Okay. So next, number 5, which of the following correctly arranges the planets of the solar system from the sun outward? No? From the sun outward. So, alam ko sa ulado natin ito. Right? So, what do you think is the answer? Okay, what's the arrangement? Of course, we start with the nearest planet, which is what? The Mercury. So we're left with B or C. Is it Mercury, Earth, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, or Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune? Of course, after Mercury, that is Venus, right? Yes. My very eager mother just sent us nachos. No, if you eat nachos, right? If your favorite is nachos, no? And your very eager mother just sent you nachos. So that's Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Okay, what's the largest planet again in the solar system? That is Jupiter. That's correct. What's the smallest planet in the solar system? That is Mercury. No? So at least this is our common knowledge that we have to remember. Okay? My very eager mother just sent us or served us, pwede rin, nachos. Okay? So you can use that as a mnemonic, no, in order for you to remember the arrangement of our planets. Okay, so you have the red planet, Mars, right? The big blue planet, the Neptune, the blue, small blue planet, the Earth. But the Earth's twin is, of course, Venus. And Venus is the hottest planet in the solar system, and it is also referred as the morning star and the evening star. Okay, why is it hottest? Because of the greenhouse gases in its atmosphere. Okay, all these four Jovian planets have rings, no? But the most prominent rings can be seen in Saturn. And Saturn is the only planet, no, if you put it in a gigantic basin, the only planet which can float because it is less than 1 gram per cubic centimeter. That's the density of water. 1 gram per cubic centimeter. Right? So next question, question number 6. Arrange the following biological classification levels in the correct sequence from the broadest to the most specific. From the largest to the most specific, no? So what do you think is the answer here? Right? So A, phylum, kingdom, class, order, family, genus, or species. Kingdom, class, phylum, order, genus, family, species. Species, genus, family, order, class, or phylum, and kingdom. Then, or kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, or species. All right? We all know that the largest talaga is domain. However, domain is not included in the option. And so we go to the next highest. Okay? And that is kingdom. That's correct. So we're left with B or D. After kingdom, you know very well. After kingdom, that is what? Is it class or phylum? It is phylum, right? Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, or species. Okay? So, domain ang pinakamataas, no? Pero pag walang domain in the board exam, syempre ang pipiliin natin ay kingdom. And how many kingdoms do we have in our modern taxonomical classification? We have 6 kingdoms, right? Remember that the levels of taxonomy is how many again? 8 levels. So biological taxonomy levels is 8, but when we talk about the number of kingdoms in the life kingdom, that is 6. So what are these 6 kingdoms? Daanan lang natin ang mabilisan. But I think I was able to discuss it in the previous videos. Of course, our kingdom, Kingdom Animalia, the plants, Kingdom Plantae, the mushroom, Kingdom Fungi, the protozoa, Kingdom Protista, and our the other two kingdoms left, okay? The fifth one, of course, the kingdom Archaebacteria, and the sixth one is kingdom Eubacteria. So we have 6 kingdoms overall. And remember, we discussed this or we studied this in taxonomy. At lagi ding lumalabas sa Gen Ed yan, sino ang father of modern taxonomy? That's correct. That's Carolus Linnaeus or Carl von Linné or Carl Linné. And who's the father of ancient taxonomy? Right. That's Aristotle. So, lumalabas din yan, no? Favorite din yan. Favorite din yan ng PRC. So, how do we easily remember this? No? So, you can actually use these mnemonics. Don King Philip, remember? Philippines was named, okay, after King Philip II. Lagyan lang natin ng Don since domain is now the highest, no? uh, taxonomical level, right? Don King Philip came to order fresh green peanuts. So you can use that. Pwede rin naman yung usual na naririnig natin, no? Dream kong pumasa because our family gusto sahod, right? So dream kong pumasa and papasa tayo, no? Cause our family gusto sahod. Siguro hindi lang naman ang pamilya natin, kundi syempre tayo din. We need money, right? And, kailangan natin yan para sa mga bills natin. So, going over, no, these example. So, our example here is human. So, we try to classify human based on the different taxonomical level, classification or levels. So, the highest, as I mentioned, is the domain. At pag tinanong sa board exam, anong domain mo, human? So, your domain is eukarya. Bakit eukarya ang domain mo? Because you possess what? Eukaryotic cell. Right? Hindi tayo bacteria. We're not bacteria, and so we don't have bacterial cell or what we call prokaryotic cell. Remember, among the six kingdoms, four kingdoms are under domain Eukarya. That's Plantae, Fungi, Animalia, and Protista. And the prokaryotic cells are the two kingdoms, Kingdom Eubacteria and Kingdom Archaebacteria. Okay? Next kingdom. The kingdom of human is Animalia. We belong to Animalia. But again, we are so special compared to the other animal forms, no, to the other lower forms of animal, because we have what? Rational thinking, and we have the large brain. Okay. Phylum. Our phylum is Chordata, no, because of our notochord, no, our vertebral column. We have that. So we are chordates. Pag tinanong sa board exam, what phylum do you belong? That's Chordata or chordate. Then, of course, our class is Mammalia. We have mammary glands, right? Class Mammalia. So, anong class natin? Mammalia. Then, our order primate. Lumabas recently. What's the order of humans, of monkeys, of gorilla? We are primata or primates. Okay? Family. Family is Hominidae or hominin. So, it could be Hominidae or hominin. Then our genus, syempre, hindi natin kakalimutan, Homo. Our genus is Homo, our species is Sapiens or Sapiens. So we have scientific name, no, because ang scientific name is only composed of two parts, the genus and the species. So pag pinagsama natin ang genus and species, it makes up the scientific name. We call it the binomial nomenclature. So pag tinanong sa board exam, what is the scientific name of humans, of modern humans at that? Homo sapiens. The Homo there should be in capital H. Homo sapiens. Right? So mali ito ha, malaki yan. Homo sapiens. In other books, no, and other references, Homo sapiens sapiens. We have subspecies sapiens to denote modern humans. Okay. So next question, question number 7. Which of the following correctly arranges the stages of a star's life cycle in order of occurrence for a sun-like star? Okay. So A, protostar, nebula, red giant, main sequence, white dwarf. B, nebula, protostar, main sequence, red giant, white dwarf. C, main sequence, nebula, protostar, white dwarf, red giant. Or letter D, nebula, red giant, protostar, main sequence, and white dwarf. Okay, so we're talking about here a sun-like star, and we want to see here the star's life cycle, no? In order of occurrence. And that is what? That's correct. So it's letter B, nebula. So we start with nebula, the cloud of gas and dust, the nebula, the protostar, the main sequence, the red giant, and the white dwarf. Okay. So if you're going to look at the sun-like star, okay. So here you can see the nebula, then the protostar, the T Tauri phase, although it was not mentioned in the options. Then after that, because we are in a sun-like star, the low and medium mass star, we go to red giant, no? Main sequence to, the red giant, no? And of course, planetary nebula, white dwarf, and then the black hole. But if this is a very massive star that goes to red supergiant, supernova, either neutron star or black hole. Okay, so this one is black dwarf, I mean. Okay, white dwarf and the black dwarf. Okay, so just in case, no, if you want to remember it easier, never poke mighty red warriors deeply. Never poke mighty red warriors deeply. So that's Nebula, Protostar, main sequence, red giant, and white dwarf. Okay, so that's the arrangement of a sun-like star or those stars which are low and medium star like that of the sun. Kasi meron pang isa, the high mass or massive star like that of the Sirius. And again, pag tinanong sa board exam, what is the color of the sun? The answer is, what's the color of the sun? The answer is yellow. Okay, so yellow is the color of our star. It belongs to a G2, that's the spectral class of our star, G2 star. Okay, so next, number 8, arrange the steps of the scientific method in the correct order. A, hypothesis, experiment, observation, analysis, conclusion. B, observation, experiment, hypothesis, analysis, conclusion. C, hypothesis, observation, experiment, analysis, conclusion. Or letter D, observation, hypothesis, experiment, analysis, conclusion. Right? So what do you think is the answer for this? We start with what? What step? Of course, observation. So we are left with two options, letter B or D. After observation, what do you do? You formulate your problem. You identify your problem or question. All right. Then after formulating your question or problem, you craft or formulate your hypothesis, right? And you want to prove your hypothesis through what process? Experimentation. And in experimentation, you gather data that you need to analyze before you conclude. And so the answer is letter D, right? Observation, hypothesis, experiment, analysis, and conclusion. Hindi lang nailagay dito yung question, yung problem identification or question, pwedeng nakapaloob na yan sa observation because you cannot identify your problem or you cannot formulate a research question without observation. Okay? So that's our scientific method. Our happy earthworms always crawls. Okay? So observation, hypothesis, experiment, analysis, and conclusion. So that's our scientific method. Observation, as I mentioned, the question there or the problem, hypothesis, experiment, analysis, and conclusion. Just in case isama sa question, that comes after observation. Okay, take note of that, future top notchers. Okay, next. Arrange the following types of seismic waves in the order in which they arrive at the seismograph station from first to last. So we have three words na lang. Hindi ko na babanggitin lahat, no? Para madali nyo makita, no? The P waves, the S waves, the surface waves. So these are the three terms here. How do we arrange them, no? From the first arrival to the last in a seismograph station. Okay. So what do you think is the answer? What comes first? Is it the S or the P or is it the surface? So what's your answer? You can try to answer and we'll see if that's correct. That's letter letter A. No? It's PSS. P waves, S waves, surface waves. Okay, so that's the arrangement. Okay, all right. So this is how it looks like. No, the P wave arrivals. No, this is amplitude. Then S wave arrivals, and then the surface waves. PSSV. P waves, S waves, surface waves. Okay. Yeah. PPS W dapat. PPSW, no? Surface waves. Okay? So, tatandaan natin. Okay, next question. Number 10, arrange the different types of blood vessels in the order in which blood flows from the heart and back. So we have here terms are arteries, arterioles, capillaries, venules, and veins. So how do we arrange them? What comes first? Ano muna ang mauuna? So this is from the heart and then back, right? So heart, from the heart, and back to the heart. So what's your answer? Okay? So what's the correct arrangement ng pagdaloy ng ating dugo mula sa puso pabalik dito? Okay? So we start with, that's correct, letter A, arteries, followed by arterioles, and then the connecting capillaries, and then the venules, and then back to the vein. Kaya nga ang vein are blood vessels no that carry blood back to the heart. Veins back, arteries away from the heart. Okay? So arteries, arterioles, capillaries, venules, and veins. Okay? So remember that. Okay? So that is aakap si Veve. Diba? Aakap si Veve. That's from the heart back to the heart. Pero back to the heart from the heart, siyempre, aakap si Bebe pa rin, pero babaliktarin nyo lang yan. That's the veins, venules, capillaries, arterioles, and artery. But because the question is from the heart, back to the heart, that's artery, arterial, capillaries, venule, and the vein. Okay? So next. 11. Arrange the following phases of mitosis in the correct order. This is also a very common question, and I know you know this already. So we have four terms, anaphase, prophase, metaphase, and telophase. So which is the correct arrangement among our four options? What's your answer? Future top notchers. That's correct. Promot or PMOT, right? Prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. This is our mitotic division, no? The correct sequence of our mitosis. Okay? So that's promat or PMAT or ilagyan natin ng I sa umpisa, the I promat. Just in case lang i-insert ni PRC yung interface. But in my experience for the past board exam, laging PMAT and PROMAT lang yan. So that's interface, prophase, the metaphase where the chromosomes are at the middle, anaphase, and telophase. Okay? Tandaan po yan. Okay? Lumalabas din to madalas tumbas sa Gen Ed natin. Okay? Arrange the following, number 12. Arrange the following energy transformations. Okay? In a coal-fired power plant from the start to finish. Okay? So we have four terms here: chemical, thermal, mechanical, electrical. So how do we arrange them correctly? So it will show us the energy transformation in a coal-fired power plant. Okay? So what do you think is the answer here? Okay? So the answer is what? Letter letter A, no? That's chemical, thermal, mechanical, and then electrical. Right? So in a coal-fired power plant, as you can see here, okay, so the coal, no, that was a source of chemical energy, then it will actually have a steam, no, which is a thermal energy. Then here the turbine, a mechanical energy, and the generator, electrical energy. Okay, so if you are having a hard time remembering that, you can say chickens take many eggs: chemical, thermal, mechanical, electrical. So that's the arrangement for a coal-fired power plant. Okay. So next question, question number 13, which was asked last September, no? In our Gen Ed, last September 2024. Arrange the following processes in the correct sequence of the water cycle. Although, yung last board exam, isinama din yung transpiration. But remember that transpiration is evaporation and plant. So dapat magkasunod lang sila ni evaporation or magkasama, right? So there are four terms here: condensation, evaporation, precipitation, collection. So what's the correct sequence? Siyempre, we start with evaporation. So we're left with C or D. Then after evaporation, ang susunod. Of course, that's condensation. So evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and collection. Just in case lang na tawag dito, may transpiration, you can insert transpiration here, evaporation, transpiration, then condensation, precipitation, and collection. Okay? So that's the correct sequence. These are the four major actually, no? Processes in our hydrologic or water cycle: evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and collection. Okay, every cloud pours constantly. Every evaporation, cloud, condensation, pours, precipitation, constantly, collection. So pours, right? Precipitation. Pag ulan, either it could be rain, it could be snow, or it could be hail or sleet. Okay? So that's our water cycle: evaporation, condensation, precipitation, collection. Tandaan nyo, baka lumabas ulit ito. Okay? Number 14. Arrange the following types of electromagnetic waves in order of increasing frequency. Okay? So, increasing frequency naman. Okay? So, we have terms here. We have 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay? Terms. Okay? Radio waves, microwaves, infrared, visible light, ultraviolet, X-rays, and gamma rays. So, I'm not going to read all the options. We just have to arrange them. Okay? So, in order of increasing frequency. So, what do you think is the first and the last? Okay. Of course, we start with correct with radio waves. So we have here radio waves, microwaves, infrared, visible light, ultraviolet, X-rays, gamma rays. Halos ano rin to, no? Suki din ito, no? Lalo sa physical science, no? Sa Gen Ed, pwede rin sa majorship. Okay? So you can use the mnemonics: raging Martians invaded Venus using X-ray guns. Okay, mga taga-Mars, in-invade ang Venus gamit ang X-ray gun. So this is radio waves, the longest wavelength but the lowest frequency. So we have here, ang tanong sa atin is from increasing frequency. So the lowest frequency is radio waves, although it has the longest wavelength. And the highest frequency is gamma rays, although it has the shortest wavelength. So wag malilito. Okay? So radio waves, M, microwaves, I, infrared, V, visible light, U, ultraviolet, X, X-rays, then GONS, gamma. So from radio waves, to gamma rays from increasing frequency, from lowest frequency to highest frequency. Okay, remember that. Okay, next. This is a very basic one. Arrange the following layers of Earth's interior from the outermost to the innermost. Mula sa labas, paloob. At alam nating lahat na ang labas ay tinatawag na crust. Okay? So we have A or D. Siyempre, alam mo na agad yan. So that's letter A. The crust. Okay? Then the mantle, the thickest part, the outer core, and the inner core. And pag tinanong sa board exam, ano ang only liquid part ng ating Earth? What's the only liquid part of the Earth? That is outer core. The rest are solid. Okay, although that's semi-liquid. Okay, so yeah, so we have here children make orange igloos, right? Crust, mantle, outer core, inner core. But of course, madali lang yan. So kahit wala naman tayong mnemonics na dyan. So the crust is the thinnest layer, followed by the mantle, the thickest layer. So from here to here is the mantle. However, we have a term, no? Kapag pinagsama natin yung crust and upper most solid mantle, okay, this one, okay, we call it the lithosphere. Kaya hindi siya yung sa sphere of the land, no? Because the correct term for our sphere of the land is the geosphere. But commonly, sinasabi natin lithosphere kasi literal na yun yung una kasing layer, no? Na makikita naman talaga natin sa kalupaan, right? So, underneath of the lithosphere is of course the asthenosphere. Okay, so these comprises the mantle, then you have the outer core and the inner core. The inner core is composed of two major elements, the iron and the nickel. Just in case lumabas sa Gen Ed, iron and nickel compose the inner core. While the crust, no, majority, okay, of the crust is silicon and oxygen, or what we call silica or silicon oxide. Okay, silicon and oxygen. All right, so next. Number 16, arrange the following stages of human embryonic development in the correct order. Right? So our terms here are morolla, zygote, gastrula, blastula, or blastocyst, and embryo. Okay? So what do you think? What's the first? Kapag alam mo yung first, sunod-sunod na yon. And you know very well that the first year, dahil iba-iba yung first dito, kaya mo na ma-pinpoint kahit hindi mo alam yung pagkaka-arrange. That's correct. It's a zygote. We need to have a fertilized egg. We call it the zygote, the fertilized egg, right? The union of egg and sperm, okay, through the process of fertilization. And we have two fertilization process, the in vivo, right? Inside the womb and the in vitro outside, usually for test tube. Okay, so zygote, then followed by morolla, then we have blastula, gastrula, and embryo. So the end one is embryo. Okay, so then of course the developing fetus. No, just in case, no, if you want to have a mnemonics for that, this is my suggestion. Zebras make big green eggs. Okay, zebras make big green eggs. So that's zygote, morolla, blastula, gastrula, and embryo. So you can see here the fertilized egg, the zygote, then you have the morolla, the blastula, the blastocyst, the gastrula, and it will become the embryo. So this is the human embryonic development process. Okay. Number 17, arrange the following biomes in order from the coldest to the warmest. So we have terms taiga, tundra, temperate forest, and tropical rainforest. So meron tayong apat na biomes dito. Ano ang pinakamalamig at ano yung pinakamainit? Okay? Alam na alam nating lahat. Okay, maybe or most of us know that the coldest biome is what? Tundra. That's correct. So we're left with letter B or C. At alam mo na ang susunod na second coldest biome is from tundra to taiga. And so, letter C is our correct answer. Tundra is the coldest, followed by taiga. Taiga is also known as northern boreal forest. So, tundra, taiga, then another T. Parang TT yan, apat na T's yan. T, 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 right? Tundra, taiga, temperate forest and tropical rainforest. So sa atin, sa Pilipinas, mainit, no? So that's our own biome. So Philippines do belong, okay, Philippines belong, rather, to tropical rainforest biome. So pag tinanong sa board exam, anong biome meron sa Pilipinas? That's tropical rainforest. So letter C is the correct answer. Tuta, temtrop. Okay? Tundra, taiga, temperate, tropical. Tuta, temtrop. Okay? So this is the coldest, followed by taiga. Then you have the temperate, okay, forest, temperate grassland desert, temperate desert. Then you have tropical rainforest, savanna, and desert. And what's the largest desert? That's correct. That's Antarctica. Okay. What's the largest hot desert? That is Sahara Desert. Okay. So next, number 18, arrange the following geologic time periods in the correct order from the oldest to the most recent. So kanina, we'll look at the eras, right? Now we're looking at the periods naman. Okay? And the terms here, we have 2, 4, 6, right? Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous, and Permian. So what's the correct arrangement, do you think? What do you think is the answer here? Future top-notchers. Okay? So the answer is, of course, we start with that's correct. Cambrian. Okay? 'Di ba? Kanina Prepamese, 'di ba? Precambrian, Paleozoic, Mesozoic, Cenozoic. So pag hindi ka sure, okay, Cambrian, Precambrian mauna. Cambrian, and then followed by Ordovician, then Silurian, then Devonian, Carboniferous, and then Permian. Panghuli, no? Permian, P panghuli. Okay? So you can use this might be my suggestion. This is my suggested one. Clever octopus swims deep carrying pearls, no? Si clever na octopus lumangoy ng malalim, hawak-hawak ang mga perlas. So clever octopus swims deep carrying pearls, so that's Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous, and then Permian. So you can see here that this particular period is actually under Paleozoic. Precambrian, Paleozoic, Mesozoic, Cenozoic. So in Paleozoic, it's divided into these periods. So 2, 4, 6 periods. So the Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, and Carboniferous. By the way, in Carboniferous, it's actually divided into two. The early Carboniferous, we call it the Mississippian, okay? Mississippian epoch and the Pennsylvanian epoch. But of course, this is Janet, so hindi na masyado yan. But this is lang nating arrangement. And of course, the Permian. Okay? So next, arrange the following geologic time periods. Okay, naulit to. Okay, so I think that's number 18. Yeah, all right. Okay na tayo dyan. Now we go to number 19. Arrange the following stages of a river's life cycle from youngest to the oldest. We have three terms here, the youthful, mature, and an old age. And this is, I think, is the easiest one. At alam na alam nyo ang sagot dyan, kahit hindi nyo alam na ito pala ay reverse life cycle. That's correct. We start with, of course, youthful, then mature. Meron pang sinasabi nilang early maturity and late maturity, but okay, mature, okay na yan. And then old age. No, just in case lang na lalagyan ng dalawang maturity, nandun sila sa middle, no? The early maturity and the late maturity. So we have here the young stream, you can, which has a steep slope, then the mature stream, which has a moderate slope, and the old stream, which has a gentle slope. So these are stages of stream or river development. Okay, arrangement from earliest to oldest. Okay, next, number 20, arrange the following types of stars in order from the smallest to largest. Pinakamaliit, papalaki. We have four terms here, sun-like star, white dwarf, supergiant, and giant. At halatang halata po sa ating options. Okay? So what is the correct answer? Okay, what's your answer? Top notchers, of course. Dulo dyan, syempre, no? Super giant. So we have the white dwarf, followed by the main sequence star, like the sun-like star, the giant, and the super giant. Okay, white dwarf, sun-like star, giant, and super giant. So that's letter B. So we see glowing skies. Okay, white dwarf, sun-like star, giant, super giant. Okay, so there. So you can see white dwarf, then you have here the giant and the super giant. Okay. All right. So the sun-like star are the main sequence dwarfs. Okay. Right? So, but kung ito isasama lahat yan, the brown dwarf, red dwarf, white dwarf, subdwarf, main sequence, subgiant, giant, bright giant, supergiant, hypergiant. But again, these are commonly no the terms no in the options no. So at least alam din natin. Okay? So next, arrange the following, number 21. Arrange the following digestive organs in the order in which food passes through them. Through them. Okay, we have terms: mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine. Okay, so what do you think is the arrangement? What is the first? Of course, alam natin mouth. A or C? Ano susunod sa mouth? Stomach ba agad? No. It's esophagus, esophagus. Ang aking esophagus. Okay? Remember that, right? So mouth, followed by esophagus, then the stomach, the small intestine, and the large intestine. I think this is a very easy arrangement that we can think of, right? Kahit wala tayong mnemonics dyan. But again, if you want to have a mnemonics, you can say, my eager stomach savors lunch. Okay? Mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine. Okay, so that's their arrangement. It's if the PRC would include another rectum, then we could include that at the last. Okay, so this is part of our digestive process. Okay, number 22. Arrange the following levels of the human body structural organization from simplest to most complex. So the simplest to most complex. So we have four terms here: tissue, cell, organ, organ system, organism. Okay. So what's the correct answer? We start with, of course, the basic unit of life, the basic structural unit of life, that's a cell. Okay? Our sitoso, right? Kung dadagdan natin organism. Sitoso. The amoktoso, right? Atom, molecule, no? Organelle, cell, amok. Then, of course, so, tissue, organ system, and organism. Group of cells, tissue, organ system. Group of organ system is organism. Okay? So that's sitoso. Pag isasama natin ang atom and molecule and organelle, amoktoso. Okay? So there. Next, number 23. Arrange the different levels of organization in an ecosystem from the smallest to the largest. Natanong na rin to before, right? So, alam natin to, right? Okay, alam ba natin? Sige nga, tignan nyo. What's your answer here? So, we start with, correct, no? We start with, okay, after organism, okay, we have population, group of population, community, group of community, ecosystem, group of ecosystem, biosphere. O Piseb, no? Amoktoso Piseb. Okay, kakadugtong yan, no? Toso, the organism. Then Piseb, population, community, ecosystem. Okay, so that's OP7. Okay, so alam natin na yan. Okay, so biosphere is the global processes, no? The sphere of life. While ecosystem, energy flux and cycling of nutrients, the interaction between the abiotic and biotic factors. Community, interacting populations, group of populations. Okay, then population, group of community. Group of organism. No? There is what we call population dynamics because we can see different organisms. Okay. And then, of course, the organism as the survival and reproduction, the unit of natural selection. Okay. Organism is considered as the unit of natural selection and the basic unit of ecology. What's the basic unit of evolution then? The basic unit of evolution is population, which means evolution does not happen in an organismal level. It's always in the population level. Okay, so next, arrange the following states of matter in order from increasing molecular movement. Right? So we have four here, the four states of matter, which is the correct arrangement. So what do you think is the answer? That's right. You're correct. Now, what you're thinking is correct. Solid, liquid, gas, plasma. Increasing molecular movement. Remember, the molecules of solid is very tight, no? So, yung kanyang molecular movement is very very low, no? And then increasing yan, liquid, medyo magkakahiwalay na, gas, sobrang hiwa-hiwalay, and then of course your plasma, the fourth state of matter. Okay, so with a solid, no, range and regular repeating pattern firmly in place, while the plasma, the very high temperature atoms lose their electrons, and the mixture of electron and nuclei that result is the plasma state of matter. So increasing energy, increasing molecular. Okay, number 25, arrange the following steps of protein synthesis in the correct order. So we're looking at the protein synthesis steps here. So we have four terms: transcription, RNA processing, translation, and protein folding. Which is which? Which is the first and which is the last, right? So the first step here is actually what? It's transcription. Okay? Then after transcription, ang susunod, RNA processing or mRNA processing. And then you have translation and then protein folding. So remember, that's our steps, no, for a protein synthesis. You can use the mnemonics tiny ribosomes turn proteins. So that's transcription, RNA processing, translation, protein folding. Okay? So this is DNA. It undergo transcription, then pre-mRNA, no, for the RNA processing. So transcriptional modification to mRNA. Then you have the translation, and then it will involve the protein for post-translational modification. So you have your protein folding or proteolysis, proteolysis. Okay, proteolysis or the protein folding. Okay, so that's transcription, RNA processing, translation, and protein folding. Okay, number 26, arrange the different types of chemical bonds from strongest to weakest. So, pinaka-strong papunta sa hindi strong or the weakest. So, we have here four terms. We have hydrogen, covalent, ionic, van der Waals. Okay? Ano ang tama dito when PRC would ask you about strongest to weakest chemical bond? That's correct, no? So, we have covalent, then ionic, then hydrogen, then van der Waals. Okay, so van der Waals here is the weakest. So you can see here the covalent, then ionic, then hydrogen, then van der Waals interaction. So weak na yan. So you can use the word, the mnemonics, chemists investigate hard variables. So covalent, ionic, hydrogen, and van der Waals. Okay? All right. So just in case na lumabas to, alam na natin. Alright? So 27, arrange the different types of clouds in order of increasing altitude. Remember, clouds can be categorized based on altitude. A, stratus, cumulus, cirrus. B, cumulus, stratus, cirrus. C, cirrus, cumulus, stratus. D, stratus, cirrus, cumulus. So we have three lang naman. So binasa ko na lahat. Alright, so what is the correct answer? What's the lowest and what's the highest? Okay, the answer is correct. So it's letter A, ano yan? Stracuzzi, no? Stratus, cumulus, cirrus. Okay? Stracuzzi. Okay? So that's Stracuzzi, stratus, cumulus, and cirrus. You can see here the stratus. No? We have stratus, cumulus. Okay, then you have your cumulus here, the nimbus stratus, and then after cumulus, you can see the highest here, the cirrus. Okay, so we have the alto stratus, alto cumulus, cirrus stratus, cirrocumulus, cirrus. And then, of course, the vertical here is the cumulonimbus. But again, if these three will be in the option, start with stratus, okay, then cumulus, and then cirrus. Okay, so next, arrange the following phases of the moon in the correct order of the lunar cycle. So we have here how many phases of the moon? Tinanong na yan sa board exam natin. Ilang phases of the moon ulit? Walo. 8 phases of the moon. And we start with what? Is it full moon or new moon? You start with, right? No? You start with new moon. So what's your answer? Is it A or is it letter C? Okay. Pag new moon ba, waxing crescent o first quarter agad? So the answer is actual letter A. Okay? New moon, then waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, third quarter, waning crescent. Nauuna ang waxing. Okay? Right? Waxing, papalaki yung part. Waning, papaubos na. Okay? So waxing crescent, then first quarter, then waxing gibbous. then full moon, nag-waning gibbous, third quarter, then crescent ang dulo, waning crescent. Okay? So that is our arrangement. No? So new moon, waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, third quarter, and waning crescent. You can use uh this particular arrangement, or you can actually use another mnemonics. You can say, new wolves find warm fur with true wisdom. Okay, yung mga wolves kasi gabi, di ba? May buwan, no? New wolves find warm fur with true wisdom. So that's new moon, then waxing crescent, and then full moon, first quarter, then waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, third quarter, and waning crescent. Okay? So we always start with a new moon, then we end with a waning crescent. The eight phases of the moon, right? Number 29, arrange the following parts of the eye in order from the front to the back. We have five here: lens, pupil, cornea, retina, optic nerve. So we start with what? Okay, we start with cornea. So cornea, okay, from the front, pupil, and then your lens, the retina, and then the back, the optic nerve. Okay, so that's how we arrange our the correct arrangement from front to the back. Cute puppies love running outside. Okay, so that's your cornea. So ito yun, cornea, and then you have your pupil here, and then you have the lens. Okay, and then the retina, and then you have the optic nerve. Okay, so cute puppies love running outside. Cornea, okay, pupil, lens, retina, and the optic nerve. Okay, so next, last question, number 30. Arrange the following parts of a flowering plant's reproductive cycle in the correct order. Ito, common question din to, and this is a very common sequence, no, in our Gen Ed science. So what do you think is the answer? Ano ang mauuna? It always starts with what? Pollination, right? Okay, so we are left with C or D. So what's your answer? After pollination, what happens? There should be a fertilization. There should be meeting of the egg and the sperm. And then it will have a seed formation that would later be germinated. And that would start an adult, a plant to have to be an adult one for the growth, right? So pollination, fertilization, seed formation, germination, and the growth. Pretty flowers sprout green growth. No? Pollination, fertilization, seed formation, germination, and the growth. You can see here, right? No? So pollination, which of course will have fertilization, then that would be seed formation, then germination, then growth as a seedling before it becomes an adult plant. Okay? I hope, no, natatandaan natin tong ating mga arrangements. I think that's the last question, no? So again, mahilig ang PRC for arrangement-based question. The recent board exams, no, I included some of these questions in the in the items that we just rationalize. So, tatandaan nyo yung ating mga arrangement. So, once again, thank you so much sa pagsama sa akin for this review drill. Abangan po ninyo ang ating mga susunod na Gen Ed Let Review for other subjects. So, again, laban, papasa tayo. Patuloy na maganda future LPTs para sa inyong nalalapit na board exam come March 2025. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Teacher Dan Rogayan. Maraming salamat, and until till our next video.